Jamaica is bracing for the most violent storm in its history as Hurricane Melissa bears down on the island. These airborne images were taken in the eye of the storm. Melissa has been upgraded to a Category 5 hurricane, the highest level, with winds above 250 kilometers per hour. The hurricane is expected to make landfall earlier on Tuesday. Thousands of Jamaicans have been ordered to leave their homes and head to emergency shelters. Authorities are warning of catastrophic flooding, landslides, and extensive damage.
A relative calm before the storm, but rainfall is increasing as Hurricane Melissa slowly creeps towards the Jamaican coast. People are scrambling to prepare for the storm.
So we use plywoods to barricade the areas and sandbags to ensure that during the storm we don't have any issues of any debris going inside.
Jamaicans are also stocking up on food. Some supermarkets have already been swept clean, leaving shoppers empty-handed.
I was hoping to get some bread, but the shelves are empty.
Satellite images show the extent of the storm heading straight for the island. It's expected to be the most powerful hurricane to hit Jamaica since record-keeping began in 1851.
All of Jamaica will likely be affected by hurricane conditions, meaning heavy rains and winds above 100 miles per hour. It is also likely that hurricane conditions could linger over Jamaica due to the slow-moving nature of this system. Given the extended days of rains leading up to landfall and the expected inundation from the actual passage, we can expect general flash floodings across the island.
But it's not just Jamaica. Melissa is affecting an entire region from Cuba to Haiti and beyond. The Dominican Republic has been hit by outliers of the storm, causing torrential rainfall. A third of the country has been placed on red alert due to the risk of flooding and landslides. Some communities have been cut off and are being resupplied by drone flights. All before Hurricane Melissa even makes landfall.
Meteorologist Matthew Cappucci joined us from Orlando, Florida, and described what Jamaicans can expect from this incoming hurricane.
You know, it's really tough to see a situation in which Jamaica averts crisis. It's virtually a guarantee that the island gets hit by the eye wall, the innermost ring of extreme high-end winds with tornado-like wind speeds. And this could very well lead to a humanitarian crisis that drags on for weeks, if not months. Because it's a multifaceted hazard. It's not just wind. In the areas that don't see the wind, there will still be significant flooding on the order of a meter plus of water falling in the higher terrain. That will lead to flooding and mudslides that isolate some communities. At the coastline, there will be winds over 210 to 240 kilometers per hour where that eye wall comes ashore, that innermost buzzsaw of winds. Moreover, that eye wall will be pushing water ashore, leading to a 3-4 meter, if not more, storm surge, inundating some coastal structures.
How is it possible that Melissa turned so rapidly into a Category 5 hurricane?
To get this form of rapid intensification, you need a couple different ingredients. Number one, very weak winds in the upper atmosphere. If there's even a little wind, you kind of knock the hurricane off kilter, and it sort of gets thrown out of whack and starts to weaken. You need to have very moist air at all levels. Any dry air can be entrained into the circulation and weaken the storm. We didn't have that. It's very humid out there. You also need incredibly warm water temperatures. Right now, water temps are around like 32, 33 Celsius, nearing record warm, and also the warmest anywhere in the Atlantic. So really, it's all systems go for Melissa to continue being a strong hurricane. And one last ingredient I'm worried about is divergence, or spreading in the upper atmosphere. Air goes up in the hurricane, it's blown away like the exhaust at the upper levels, and the more we fan away out the top, the more warmth and moisture come in from below, powering that storm even more.
And I've heard that you flew right into the center of Melissa on board an airplane. This is less of a scientific question, but what was that like?
Well, there's a reason I overnighted motion sickness bags on Amazon. I definitely use them too. It was like being on a roller coaster at night. jostled to and fro, up, down. Turbulence was pretty exceptional. Still not as bad as I'd expected, believe it or not, because last night Melissa was steady state, meaning it was sort of holding its own and not really strengthening or weakening. But now it's resumed another strengthening trend, which is why it's a pretty high-end Category 5. You can see that video on the left from the Air Force. They were inside the eye on Monday, and you can see that bowl-shaped lowering as air sinks in the center and warms and dries out and erodes that perfectly clear eye. I was in there at night, and I could see the stars above me, and being able to see that sort of beauty and yet be surrounded on all sides by hell on earth is something both mesmerizing and terrifying simultaneously, especially knowing it's going to hit people.
Yeah, that storm really does look like quite a monster. You mentioned that Jamaica is preparing for this. What are they doing to make sure that they are avoiding the worst?
Well, we always tell folks, run from the water, hide from the wind. People at the coastline had to evacuate inland, and hopefully they did. But now it's a matter of, as the winds approach, finding a place of safe refuge, putting as many layers between yourself and the outside world as you can, and treating it like a tornado. The one difference, during a tornado, we tell people to go in the basement. Here, we can't even give that advice because there will be so much water, both storm surge and freshwater flooding, that the basement might flood. So the lowest floor of whatever structure people are in, but above flooding.
Hurricane expert Matthew Cappucci, thank you.
Thank you.